Hello, my name is Nadine and welcome to Hop Along Studio. In today's video, I wanted to share with you some practical ways you can set realistic goals during the summer. It's not always easy to stay on track with your goals, especially during the summertime when there's so many other things going on. And I feel like this year in general has been more challenging than most years. With the pandemic, it's kind of thrown a lot of my specific measurable goals a little bit out the window, so I've really had to readjust and be able to figure out like what goals can I meet for this year and how is this going to change as the year goes on. There has been good and bad with this time of waiting. I found that I've taken advantage to be able to learn a lot of new skills and to work a lot on this website and this YouTube channel. So it's been good for me, but at the same time, it doesn't come without some of its frustrations. So part of realistic goal setting is having a good tool to help you with your plan. I actually use a physical planner. I prefer paper over an app for doing my plans. It's useful, but I find sometimes it can be frustrating. Often I will plan my week out and then sometimes things come up and then that entire plan for the week is thrown out. And having to cross off all the things I did not do that week for me can be very, very frustrating. And so I've made a point that I have room to put unexpected outcomes in my plan just to help me come from a place of feeling frustrated from it to a place where I go, well, I may not have accomplished all these other things, but I have accomplished this. And that had become my new priority for the week. And so sometimes we don't use our planners at all. I had about a month where I was not using my planner at all because I was quite frustrated with it. So instead of leaving it blank, which bothers me, I actually made a point to put in some pictures, put in some quotes, decorate those pages with something else so that they're a place that I can look back and go, oh, look at all these beautiful memories, over being really focused on the fact that I did not do certain things. I think the key with this is making sure that we have self-compassion when we don't necessarily meet the goals that we want to meet. So how do you get back on track? For me, the first thing I did was write a list of what I have accomplished in the last 6 months. I feel like there's been a lot of good things that have happened in the last 6 months, both like not only just task-based, but also emotionally and spiritually and mentally, and I've learned a lot of new things, and I wanted to record that somewhere. So I had in my 6 months of what have I accomplished in the last 6 months, and for me, it was actually a really good exercise. It brought along these intangible things, these things that don't necessarily end up on a checklist, that are valuable when we are trying to really recap where we've been for the last 6 months. And from there, I really believe that leads us to a place where we can move on to the next things in our lives and be able to maybe reevaluate, see where our goals are, and be able to decide if the goals we wanted to meet are the ones we want to meet for the rest of the year. The most important thing to do is to start again. It's easy to say, well, my planner didn't work for me, so I'm not going to use it for the rest of the year. And I think we really need to make sure that we get back into using our planner. The reason I find a planner useful is it's really good for choosing priorities. It's easy to say everything's important, but not everything really is important. There can be lists of things that you need to do eventually sometime during that year, but they aren't necessarily for something you need to worry about this particular week. I find a planner useful for being able to create lists of things that maybe I'm not dealing with now, but I can revisit later. But being able to assign priorities and actually see how you want to spend your time, it does help you stay more focused in your life. As well, it's also useful to see your trends. I know there's some things on my planner that I've been saying I'll do for the last few months and I haven't. And I've realized that that is another thing for me, is realizing where I'm procrastinating in my goals, or realizing that maybe those goals aren't as important, or those tasks aren't as important as I thought they were. And so this whole thing can help us basically analyze how we spend our time, how we go about our life, and not with judgment, but with self-compassion, realizing that things didn't go according to plan, but we can move on from there. We can use these tools, and these tools can help us get where we want to be. And sometimes your tool doesn't always work for you. For me, it was making a change to my planner. I enjoyed the planner that I was working in, but as I've been developing my own planner, I found that there are things that I thought were a really great idea, and now that it's been 6 months in, I'm going, this is really not working for me. And so I have actually been continually doing iterations on the planner template that I have created to be able to find something that's really helpful for me, that helps me meet my goals. So as we go into summer, how does this affect our goal setting? I believe it requires us to change or postpone our goals. That doesn't mean all of our goals. I believe that there are goals that we want to continue over the summer, but I believe that you can have your focus change during these summer months. I know for myself, I usually like to create a 6 to 8 week plan for what my summer is going to look like. I find that between being outside more, spending more time with people, some of the goals that I have during the year don't really fit really well into that. So instead of being forced into goals that don't work for me, instead I'm going to put my goals aside for the next 6 or 8 weeks, and I'm setting new goals for this short period of time. I find that my goal over the summer is to make a point to be outside, to spend more time in the garden and golfing, and less time in my art studio. And as well with that is taking time for real restoration. I find that being outside is extremely restorative for me. So I am taking advantage of this great weather and these great summer months, and I'm doing what I can to help my own personal self-care. The goal of this is not to have your goals run your life. The idea is that these goals help you live the life that you want. And living a life of great self-care and of a place where you're constantly feeling restored, I believe is really important. So I hope that you find that over these summer months, you're able to come up with a plan that aids you in your personal self-care. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, if you could like it, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. As well, I have my website, hopalongstudio.com, where I have the full article that is linked to this video content. I hope that you have a really great week, and I will see you next time.